Thank you. And just one last question before we go to a brief closing statement. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will note that several of our Republican colleagues spent so much time talking about trans, and this is the Oversight Committee. This is a hearing about genetic information. And instead, we are focused. I think it's fair to say that a number of my Republican colleagues seem obsessed with trans issues, as opposed to, say, things like the corruption we're seeing in our government, the illegal removals and deportations of citizens and people here on permanent residence and permanent green cards and student visas. But this is an important hearing because Americans do deserve to know what the sale of 23andMe will mean for their sensitive genetic data. While 23andMe's privacy policies currently allow customers to delete their data from the company, the next buyer of 23andMe could do away with these types of safeguards for its 15 million customers. Despite today's testimony from the current and former CEO of 23andMe, customers' visibility into their data, where it may be sold, and what the company's third-party partners do with it is extremely opaque. In addition, it's clear that no comprehensive federal data exists to limit companies like 23andMe from selling their data to third parties. The collection and storage of copious amounts of sensitive personal information, whether it's in 23andMe's database or in the federal databases containing Americans' sensitive information, creates a clear target for hostile actors. Sensitive data can be subject to exploitation both for national security purposes, whether it's a CCP, Russia, or other foreign adversaries, or for consumer exploitation, including by data brokers and advertising and market analytics providers. Our nation's federal laws have not kept up with technological advances or the potential threats from malicious and foreign actors. Americans need strong oversight and stronger laws to bolster our national security, our private security, and our privacy protections to make sure that our sensitive data remains safe. If Americans were scared about what 23andMe might do with their data, they'd be really scared if they thought about what DOJ and the Trump administration are already doing with this data. Congressional Republicans cannot continue to ignore the Trump administration's blatant attacks on and destruction of critical security and privacy protections across the government. This Trump administration has conducted mass terminations of critical federal IT experts, chief information officers, and other technology professionals, while also removing many of the inspector generals that are meant to ensure good processes. DOJ, meanwhile, has seized unauthorized access of Americans' data, disregarding long-standing cybersecurity practices and existing data privacy laws. And thanks to a brave whistleblower, we know that here on the Oversight Committee, Democrats learned that DOJ is reportedly creating a master database of sensitive information from across all federal agencies in apparent violation of existing privacy and cybersecurity protections that ensure that this data cannot be exploited or misused. But here on this committee, unfortunately, the majority is just ignoring this all and sacrificing our rights to data privacy and security, all to shield Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and their cronies from accountability. And again, I want to focus on, reiterate the fact that so many of our colleagues in this hearing focused on trans issues. They attack the trans community. Not sure what that's about when we're talking about privacy. We face real and clear threats to our privacy. This hearing raised some of them, but we ought to be thinking about the threats to our federally held privacy as well. Congress has to open our eyes and address the threats in front of the American people much better. I yield back.